In this video, I will talk about one of the solid principles called single responsibility principle. In one of my earlier videos, I talked about all of the solid principles and compared the differences among them. So I will share the link of that video in the description. So first, a single responsibility principle means a class should have only one responsibility, and also a class can have multiple methods that helps and works together to complete the same responsibility. Which means a class should not perform a task that it should not. So how to apply SRP or single responsibility principle? First, identify the responsibility. For example, in your software system, there may be a feature called registering a user or providing login functionality, display products, send and receive email, logging, caching. Each of them is individual responsibility. So for each responsibility, you should create separate class for each of them. Which means registered user class should not contain any method regarding send and receive email or logging, and logging class should not include any method for caching. After identifying the responsibility, you can create your classes for each responsibility, and this will give you a separation of concerns. So each business or each function or each class logics or each class responsibility will be separated. Advantage: separation of concerns, easy to maintain, easy to understand, easy to test, and it will increase reusability of that particular class. Now I am going to show you a brief example of the single responsibility principle implementation. Here there is a class called invoice which actually violating SRP. That means these are the properties for the invoice related task, and this is the add invoice method and this is the delete invoice method. If you look closely, you will see that the invoice class is also containing the mail functionality. It is containing the send invoice email, which it should not, and also the logging functionality as well, to write any logs. So it will include, it should not include the logging or send or receive email functionality in this class. So how should I write the class that will actually obey the single responsibility principle? So I have created different classes for logging and mail sender. For example, this is a class which is implementing an interface called iLogger. The iLogger is containing three methods, which is actually logging the generate information, debug information, or any error information. And the class, concrete class, is implementing this interface, and which is implementing all the methods here. Also, the mail sender is containing all the email related properties and methods. So I am rewriting the invoice which is obeying the single responsibility. For example, it is containing the invoice related properties, and it is defining the logger class, iLogger interface, and mail sender. I have a constructor initializing the logging class and email sender class, and here in the add invoice method, I'm just calling the file logger method using the instance of this file logger property interface. Also, the email sender is also just calling the send email method from that particular class. So I am not writing any email related or logging related method in the invoice inside the invoice class itself. Just calling the methods of those file logging, of those logging class and email sender class from this invoice class. So basically, when you add any invoice, you can log this information and send the information to the customer. And if any exception, it will actually log the error. In the delete invoice also, it will log the delete information, and also if any exception or error occurs, it will log the error information. So this invoice class is containing the invoice method and invoice property and calling the logging method and email method from another class. So the logging functionality and email sending functionality code are not explicitly written in this class. So whenever the advantage is, whenever you need to edit something regarding the logging or email sending, so you can just actually edit the particular class. You don't need to edit inside this class. So another advantage is the class remains simple and easy to understand, and class actually does not become very big, so which is also easily maintainable and also easily testable. So this is the single responsibility principle, and in the program class, just as a sample, I am creating an instance of invoice obeying SRP and initializing the attributes and calling the method. So I hope you have understood the SRP. In the later videos, I will explain open close principle and give a brief explanation and implementation of the OCP. Thank you.